Section 21B describe Consumer Protection Act under Section 21B. Which of the following deals with plaintiff in interpreter suit in the Code of Civil Procedure? Order 35 Rule 1. Plaintiff in interpreter suit. Definition of complaint is described in Consumer Protection Act under Section 21B. Definition of complaint, which is not the private right. Right to property, right to freedom. Which is not private right. Right to freedom, right to education, right to property. Which one of the following is the true of someone under section 61 CRPC? This is milder from process. Under section 61 CRPC. Samirsir versus State Punjab is leading case on. Samirsir versus State Punjab is leading case on. Which one of the following is the section CRPC? Which one of the following happened? No, say it. Which one of the following is the true of common under section CRPC? Common under section CRPC. It is matter from the process. It is for appearance. It is producing document or a thing. Which is in order the private single. What is the main object of the section 138 Negotiable Instrument Act? The main object of the section 130 Negotiable Instrument Act. Recovery of the check amount in case check issued by the payer. Check issued by the payer. Actually, what is the main object? Check issued by the payer. Recovery of the check amount in case of check issued by the payer is bounced. Act recovery of the check amount. Payer is bounced. Part 3 of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996 formalizes. Actually, Arbitration and Conciliation Act. Process of conciliation, process of arbitration, and enforcement of process of conciliation, arbitration, enforcement of foreign awards under New York and Geneva Convention. New York and Geneva Convention. Process of conciliation, process of arbitration. 96 formalizes. Enforcement of foreign awards under New York and Geneva Convention. Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996 formalizes. Conciliation, process of arbitration, foreign awards under New York and Geneva Convention. Enforcement of foreign awards under New York and Geneva Convention. Separation of judiciary from executive. Separation of judiciary from executive is guaranteed in Constitution under Article. Separation of judiciary from separation of judiciary from executive guaranteed in 50. In the camera, trial is conducted in the cases charged under section C 376 IPC. In camera, trial is conducted in the case charged under section 376 of the Indian Penal Code 1860. Trial is conducted in the case of charge under section 376 of the Indian Penal Code, 1860. The camera trial is conducted in the case charged under section 376 of India Penal Code. Charge under section. In camera trial is conducted in the case charged under section. In camera trial is conducted in the cases charged under section 376 of Indian IPC Code 1860. Camera trial. Family courts have a concurrent jurisdiction to pass a decree for dissolution of a marriage under the Indian Divorce Act. Concurrent jurisdiction. ए द्वार बंद कर दे, लाइट दे दे. Family court have a concurrent jurisdiction to pass a decree for dissolution of marriage under the Indian Divorce Act. Dr. Mary versus Dr. Vincent. Family court have a concurrent jurisdiction to pass a decree for dissolution of a marriage under the Indian Divorce Act. Which case the order was passed? Under the Indian Divorce Act, in which case Dr. Mary versus Dr. Vincent. The Supreme Court held that the family court have a concurrent jurisdiction to pass a decree for a dissolution of a marriage under the Indian Divorce Act. Mary versus Dr. Vincent. The Supreme Court held that the family court have a concurrent jurisdiction to pass a decree for a dissolution of a marriage under the Indian Divorce Act. Which cases the order was passed? Dr. Mary versus Dr. Vincent. We have concurrent jurisdiction to pass a decree for dissolution of marriage under Indian Divorce Act. Pass a decree for dissolution of marriage under Indian Divorce Act. Supreme Court held that the family court have a concurrent jurisdiction to pass a decree for dissolution of marriage under the Indian Divorce Act. Dr. Mary, Dr. Vincent. Punishment for advocate for misconduct defined in Advocate Act. Section 35 of Advocate Act provide punishment for advocate for misconduct. Which one is case of public interest? Visakhapatnam versus State of Rajasthan. Mineral Mill versus Union of India, year 1980. Municipal Council Ratlam versus Bharti Chand, year 1980. Which one is case of public interest? Visakhapatnam versus State of Rajasthan, Mineral Mill versus Union of India. Municipal Council Ratlam, Bharti Chand. Public interest. Visakhapatnam versus State of Rajasthan. Municipal Council Ratlam, Bharti Chand. Question was deleted by the monitoring committee of AIB as the options were not correct. Challenged. The question was deleted by the monitoring committee of AIB. Question deleted by the Actually, under section 239 CRPC, the magistrate can, under section 239 CRPC, the magistrate accused if charges are groundless. Discharge for the accused if charges are groundless. Article 213 empowers the governor to promulgate ordinances. Article 231 empowers the governor to promulgate ordinances. When the state legislature is not in session, a person arrested should not be detained more than 24 hours. Detained. Who is the following Muslim is not entitled to maintenance? Who of the following Muslim? To maintenance. An illegitimate son is not entitled to maintenance in Muslim law. Illegitimate son. Grandparent, daughter who is not married, son who is a minor, they are entitled. Illegitimate son, not entitled. In civil case, Indian Evidence Act bestow burden of proof on. Burden of proof is the petitioner. Burden of proof on under Indian Evidence Act, the burden of proof in civil case lies on the petitioner. Act of burden of proof in civil case lies on the petitioner. In which of the following of the section 59 CRPC the discharge of an arrested person by a police officer can take place? Following section 59 CRPC, discharge of an arrested person by a police officer can take place on his own bond. Can take place on his own bond, on bail, under special order of the magistrate. Under special order of magistrate, on bail, on his own bond. Financial relation between the state and central defined in the constitution. Financial. Actually, financial relation between the state and central defined constitution. The financial relation between the state and central defined between Article 264 to 293 of the Constitution. 264 to 293 of the Constitution. Financial relation between financial relation Constitution, state and center. 64 to 63 interstate relation. Mahatma Gandhi was jailed and prosecuted by the British regime in 1922 at Ahmedabad under section 124 AIPC. Mahatma Gandhi was jailed and prosecuted by British regime at Ahmedabad under section 124A IPC for sedition and disaffection to the government. Police can seek a bond for good behavior under section 109 and 110 of CRPC. Police can seek a bond for good behavior. This is the police habitual offenders. Bond for good behavior. Police can seek a bond for the good behavior under sections from habitual offenders. दयाभाग स्कूल प्रिज्यूम दयावन करे दयाभाग स्कूल प्रिज्यूम दैट दयाभाग school presume that a family because it is joint possesses joint property. Family because it joint possesses joint property. Dayavaga school presume that the family because it is joint possesses joint property. This presume family because it joint possesses. Dayavaga school presumes that family because it is joint possesses. Meaning of industrial disputes according to Industrial Dispute Act. Meaning of industrial dispute according to Industrial Dispute Act. Act 1947. Dispute between employers and the employee and employers. Dispute between employers and workmen. Dispute between man and workmen in connection with employment and non-employment. Employment and non-employment. Meaning of industrial dispute according to Industrial Dispute Act 1947. Family because it is joint possesses joint property. This statement is Industrial Dispute according to Industrial Dispute Act 1947. Workmen in connection with employment and non-employment. Employer-employee. English case Ryland and Fletcher laid down a very important rule. Ryland, Fletcher. Question was drilled. Which of the following is not essential for a valid sale? There must be an agreement. Sale. Valid sale not essential. There must be an agreement to sell. Valid sale essential. Parties must be competent to contract. Parties must be mental consent. Parties they must be transfer of property. Must be competent. Must be consent. Custodial death is perhaps one of the worst crimes in civilized society. Custodial death, governed by the rule of law. In which case Supreme Court made this remark. In D.K. vs. State of Bengal, the Supreme Court held that the custodial death is perhaps one of the worst crimes in civilized society governed by the rule of law. Actually, civilized society, perhaps one of the worst crime. Worst crime. They sued for compensation for false imprisonment. The period of limitation is sued for compensation for false imprisonment. The period of limitation is the 1 year when the imprisonment ends. They sued for compensation for false imprisonment. The period of limitation is sued for compensation for the false imprisonment. The period of limitation is 1 year. The period of limitation is sued for compensation for false imprisonment. The period of limitation is 1 year when the imprisonment ends. The period of limitation is 1 year when the imprisonment ends. The rule of law is defined by AYDC. That is the time prescribed for the filing an FIR. No time limit is specified. AYDC, rule of law. That is the time prescribed filing an FIR. ये बुझियो नु तो भाई जन बुझियो. At the time prescribed filing an FIR. No time limit is specified. Which of the following is true rules framed by the Supreme Court with reference to appeals to it? Which of the following is true rules framed by the Supreme Court? Which of the following is true rules with reference to appeals? An appeal against order passed under Section 20 Commission lies. Appeal against order passed under Section 27 of the Consumer Protection Act that the National Commission lies in. An appeal against order passed under the Section 27 of the Consumer Protection Act 1986 by the National Commission lies in the Supreme Court. By the National Commission lies in And actually, the following is two rules framed by the Supreme Court with reference to appeals to it. The special law within an appeal against order passed under Section 27 of the Consumer Protection Act 1986 by the National Commission lies. Appeal against order passed under Section 27 of the Consumer Protection Act 1986. National Commission lies in an appeal against order passed under Section 27 of the Consumer Protection Act 1986 by the National Commission lies in the Supreme Court. Section 27 of the Consumer Protection Act 1986 by the National Commission lies in an appeal against order passed under Section 27 of Consumer Protection 1996 by the National Commission lies under Section 27. National Commission lies in the Supreme Court. Appeal is sued for compensation for false imprisonment. The period limitation 1 year. 1 year. Section 10 CRPC provides for stay of suit. Stay which is prevented from being testified under Section 180 of Indian Evidence Act. Which is prevented from being testified. And lunatic who cannot understand the question put him. Extreme old age person who cannot give rational answer to the question. A tender age person who cannot give rational answer to the questions. Which is prevented from the being testified under Section 108. Supreme Court decided in SR Bommai vs. Union of India related to the President rule of state. Supreme Court decided in SR Bommai vs. Union of India relating to President rule in state. President rule. Discuss the 56 of the Constitution of India. Recovery of specific immovable property defined. Section 5 of Social Relief Act. Recovery specific immovable property. Section 5P. Huge impact on central-state relations. The judgment attempted to curb misuse article. Actually, under which of the following section of the Code of Criminal Procedure? Code of Criminal Procedure. Police can arrest an accused without warrant. Section 41. Code of Criminal Procedure. Police can arrest an accused without warrant. Section 41. A is at work with Hatchel. The head prize of kills a man who is standing by. There is no warrant.